What would you be then? What would that version of Barkha be? Still reading, still running a bookstore, but reading
Then I'd
classics.
be like, ये classic पढ़ो. There were
Just
generations
say
of people who just read classics. कुछ नहीं हुआ ना. So now I tell people, अच्छा बहुत कुछ पढ़ लिया, अब classic पढ़ो. But don't like that can't be everything.
what do you think happens to your mind when you read the books that you read?
I think it prepares me to not be surprised by the strangest things.
Okay.
Like the one that I'm reading right now, I, I started reading Grief is for People because I saw the cover somewhere and I looked at it and I was like, I have to read this book. I had no idea what it's about. I was like, I have to read this book because I really like the cover of this book. And the cover has nothing but the layout and the title. So, like, no way to know. I hadn't read the blurb or anything. But, while it is a bizarre book, it's doing something for me. It's it's literally about, I mean, like what the name says, that grief is for people. And it's about different forms of grief. And one might think that it is so difficult to read something like this. But it's not, because that is truly what life is. While it's talking about losing someone to suicide, it's also talking about uh, being violated in one's own home when one wasn't present, and losing things that may be very expensive, but one is absolutely not attached to. So then, how do you navigate through that sort of grief? Now, is that grief? Because there are groups for losing someone, for other forms of grief, but that I have been burgled, and while I'm not attached to it, it would have been nice to have it because I'm not financially well off. So how am I going to navigate that grief? Is that even grief? So
I wonder sometimes if you're just read Jane Austen and T.S. Eliot and I don't
I
know,
wouldn't be the
Shakespeare.
same, no, then.
What would you be then? What would that version of Barkha be? Still reading, still running a bookstore, but reading
Then I'd
classics.
be like, ये classic पढ़ो. There were
Just
generations of
say
people who just read classics. कुछ नहीं हुआ ना. So now I tell people, अच्छा बहुत कुछ पढ़ लिया, अब classic पढ़ो. But don't like that can't be everything. You have to read other things.
Hi, Barkha. Nice to meet you. My name is Amina. I am a BA double bachelor's in English literary criticism and a master's in English literary criticism. My whole life having been spent reading only classics. Thank you very much.
And actually, on that note, one of the two people who's going to start kind of working with us has an MA in literature from my alma mater.
Oh, what are the
Yeah.
chances that you will find a classicist working in your neoclassicist
I don't
bookshop?
think she's like that. I think she's more open, which I like.
No, you wouldn't be neoclassicist. How would I describe your bookstore? How would you describe your bookstore? Okay, this is a great thing. Now that I know what you're reading and that kind of strongly shapes who you are and your belief system and the belief system of the people around you, how would you describe the bookstore and the books that you welcome into your bookstore?
Everything that's practical. Honestly,
Says the person who's currently reading about grief and grief management for somebody who's burgled.
isn't that practical? I have been burgled. I have been there.
Fair enough.
So
Fair
have
enough.
most people at some point in their lives. And actually, it's not just that, it's so many other things that are attached to it. I know I'm completely giving away the story, but you know, so she describes her grandmother, whose jewelry it was, who was an awful woman. So there's also that angle. There is childhood trauma without talking about childhood trauma like that. And I mean, so much of it is so real. Why does it only have to be, you know, uh, falling in love, breaking up? Why is that what people read? Classics primarily.
All classics are not about falling in love. This is what happens when people who don't read classics talk about classics.
I don't want to talk about classics. I'm using an example. I mean, romance is a heavy part of classics.
So is it of contemporary literature.
Hmm.
It's just that it's not there in your shelves.
Yeah, not at all. Hmm.
Are there romance in your shelves? Is there any romance in your shelves?
Yeah,
Yeah? Where one doesn't die at the end?
literally romance.
Like nobody dies a happy ending?
Hmm. Happy is,
I, I made it a difficult question. I apologize.
see, the point is, it's the love that, love of the books, love of being with the books,
Uh-huh. So your love stories are love stories between people and books. I've
Yeah.
read a few of those recommendations of yours. Usually it involves a very unrequited love on one end, fulfilled with books
Well, sometimes.
sometimes. I see how you let that question just hang of just like a happy ending love story in your bookstore. I see what you did there.
But honestly, I mean, the more people I meet, the more I realize that, this is endless. It's so amazing.
What
You
is?
read, you can keep reading, but you will always find something new. That's such a wonderful thought. You know, it's like somebody who's very invested in travel and is doing that regularly is going to, I mean, I think it's impossible to be bored of travel.
Yeah.
The same way that I think it's impossible to be bored of reading. You will find something. I mean,
So
people who are unable to read come to the bookstore and say, "Hey, I'm unable to read. Can you suggest something to read?"
I see what you're doing there. You're turning it on me. Thank you very much. I see what you're doing there. So Barkha, let's deal with the elephant in the room. So I have gone up to Barkha multiple times and spoken about the fact that currently I'm unable to read. So do you want to tell people what I'm actually reading nowadays? What I'm on a mission to read through your bookstore right now?
So how are you feeling about that?
First, tell people what we're reading, what I'm reading.
You're reading picture books, right? Took you took a few.
Yeah, I've read almost all of them.
Yeah. And I remember I mean, there was a reason why those were selected. We talked about it.
Yeah, yeah. We were we started off with the purple crayon.
Oh, yes. I found one more copy. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So
Hal
we
and the Purple Crayon, yeah.
Harold and the Purple Crayon, and it's not that I've not seen picture books before, but something I think shifted inside me with that book and how I could relate with every page. And for those who haven't read it, please go read Harold and the Purple Crayon. Get yourselves. I don't care what age you are. I don't care how old, young, whatever you are. Get a copy of Harold and the Purple Crayon and read it. And I think it's going to be an eye opener. You want to tell everybody what bookstore does with like the speciality of the bookstore, of the boutiqueness of the bookstore comes from your picture books.
So,
Why picture books?
yeah, sure. So, I mean, we've never been very good at offering people what they're asking for, which is true for most things in my life. It's always a roundabout. Whenever people, I mean, even now, when someone comes and says, "Hey, my daughter's about to start reading Harry Potter," or like, "Can you give me the Harry Potter?" First of all, we don't keep Harry Potter, and on principle, so I will not talk about that because then this conversation will go. But then we say, okay, Harry Potter. So we're thinking about imagination and fantasy and lots of things happening, magic. So let's go there. And more often than not, we will find a picture book for anyone across ages. And that's just, like one. I mean, it's the same thing that happened yesterday. This girl and this boy who were in their mid 20s, they were here for an hour, but the number of books they went through while they were here, it was just mad. And then the day before that, there was this young couple, and they said, for the last 10 years, we've been looking for picture books, and it's hard to source them in India and all of that. And they came here, and just the looks on their faces, and they were just looking at everything. And every time they pick something up, I would look at that and be like, so I can show them this also. It just goes from there. But that's only possible if A, we are listening to the other person who's come into the space, and B, if we know what we have. So it's always a mix. Like, irrespective of what I am reading, I'm also constantly reading picture books. And very often,
Work with it as well, right?
yes. And very often you have to reread them.
Yeah, I agree with you. That I agree with.
It's really so much more than meets the eye.
Yeah. And for anybody who thinks they are children's books, what do you have to say to that? I know what you feel about it. You want to share what you think?
So that we tell everyone, there are no children's books. And this is just a way of keeping people in line. And there's so much written about it, and we don't sell like that, we don't categorize like that. And even sometimes when we are only carrying picture books and someone comes in and says, oh, you're selling kids books, and we say, no, look around you, you're selling books for everyone. It's people are so conscious as adults of the number of words in the material that they're reading. It's really just that.
It's almost like the more color and the lesser the words, they think the age has to then proportionately drop.
Totally. And then when you show them wordless picture books, they just don't know what to do. अरे पर इसका मैं क्या करूं? Think, yeah, really. It's not easy.
Do you want to tell us? I mean, I was there, but do you want to share? Because for me, I know you've done this multiple times before, but we went on a session together and we shared picture books with them. And the responses were so heartwarming. Do you want to share what people said when they saw picture books? And we took quite a few and we just like laid them around and
Actually, 2 sessions, right? The first one where we did it with people who have directly worked in the field, and the second with slightly younger people in college.
yeah.
I think the responses in both cases, like in the first session, I remember there were 30 plus adults, and the moment we started laying them out, they had just switched off.
They weren't listening to either of us.
Whatever, I don't have time to talk to you right now. And then I didn't get a chance to tell you one of them who was quite like, who wasn't comfortable being in any photographs or whatever. You may remember her, I don't know. And wasn't talking so much, but was just like sitting in a corner doing her thing. She came to meet me at the book fair.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, so her train was that night, and then so she came before that. And then she sat there, I showed her so many things, and we spoke about it. And she had that same look, like when we first met and she saw all these books. And, the thing is, you don't have to, but you will find something in that book that relates to you or that you feel drawn to.
Yeah.
So, which is why curation is important. I mean, if I'm going to a space anywhere in this state, then I have to think about the geographical, historical, cultural aspects of what I'm carrying, what it means to carry what I carry. For example, when we went to the university, there was a lot of focus on South Asian writing. Because there, if I start by taking only colonized African American writing, it's going to be difficult because there is a gap we need to bridge. Whereas when we went to meet these other adults who were working in the field, they already had some experience.
Yeah, so let's distinguish between the two groups. The one group was a social impact group. They were a fellowship group and they had worked in the field around gender awareness and gender programs. And the other group was celebrating Women's Day at the university, at the Goa University. And both the places we did a session where we took books and we facilitated conversation around books and around themselves. And with the other group, with the older, mostly ladies group, we actually got a chance to have conversations about self and where those books took them. That was amazing, actually. Like you said, they basically shut us out and they went back inwards, and you could see it happening and playing out in the room. And then when we made them write those postcards, I think we managed to capture something special there. Whereas with the others, they were very young. They must be 20s, early 20s. All of them were early 20s. And a lot of them hadn't seen picture books in a very, very long time. And both the curations, I know because I was there when I saw the books, the curation was very, very different, right? So one was aware of the fact that we're going to Goa University and we are around the topic of women's studies. So either it was a women's voice or it was inspiring some sort of self thought and or some sort
Yeah,
of
yeah. There was an element of um, empowerment or gender or just kind of the everyday, but from a different lens. So,
yeah, yeah, that was fun. We should do more of these.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we've been going around and talking to people about doing more of this work for anybody interested, about bringing books and having conversations with each other and with yourself, and working on self-awareness and finding the strengths to be whoever it is that you want to be, using books and using picture books specifically because they are such a powerful tool, and the lesser they say, the more they leave for you to think about it. And for all those who missed out on the introduction, this is Barkha from That Bookstore, and this is That Book Lady, apothecary of books. Please, if you're looking for a recommended book for any malady that you're suffering from, heartbreak, issues with friends, dogs, reading problem, reading too much, reading too less, anything, she has a book for you. So that's the woman you are going to reach out to. She is in Porvorim. It's a small, cute little bookstore. Please do go visit. And I will see you soon, Barkha. Thank you for
Yes,
doing this with us.
I will. See you. Bye bye.